Welcome to the Caddo Convos, the podcast that explores the vibrant community of businesses thriving in Caddo Office Reimagined. We're here to shine a light on the incredible entrepreneurs and professionals who make the most of our private offices, co-working spaces, and day office rentals in the Dallas-Fort Worth suburbs. Join us as we share their stories, celebrate their successes, and dive into the benefits of working in a space that's close to home but offers so much more than working from home. Let's get started with today's conversation. Joining me on the show today is Nick Ogilvie with LuxBlades. Nick, thank you for being here today.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Excellent. Let's talk about your business. What do you do and how do you benefit your customers?
Okay, sure. So I do artificial turf installations. Been doing it for right at 20 years. And started in eastern New Mexico. And how I benefit my customers is by giving them a great product and great service at the same time. A lot of people that have pets, no more muddy paws, no more dirty house. So it's really good. We do. I wrote a book called Installing and Understanding Artificial Turf. You can get that on Amazon. And so I've been doing this for 20 years, and I've turfed all over the United States.
That's interesting. It's a verb. I've turfed. It's kind of like you've canvassed a joint. I've turfed the states. Interesting.
Yep.
So what inspired you to do this type of thing? I mean, give me your journey to the business you're in now.
Sure. So I worked for BNSF Railroad when I got out of college, and I got laid off.
Okay.
And so what I had to do was find a way to make some money. And there was a magazine out there called Smart Money, and in the back it had franchises, up-and-coming businesses, yada, yada, yada. So the next 30 years, it was going to be solar or artificial turf.
Interesting.
And so I chose artificial turf. And where I lived in eastern New Mexico, it was a smaller town. And so no banker would give me a loan for the business. They all laughed at me. No franchise would pick me up because of the size of the community. They're like, it's never going to work. So I went ahead and did it. And so I found a manufacturer in Dalton, Georgia that made the turf. I paid for myself to go out to California, paid for this guy to train me, and was out there for a couple weeks, came back, and started it.
You just went all in.
All in, 100%. And then I got called back with the railroad, and so I did both of both of these jobs for about 6 years, and then had a big job down in Florida that I won, and the rest is history.
Yeah, and they just turned the page for you. Interesting.
Yep.
But you invested in yourself.
I did, 100%.
What a lot of entrepreneurs do. You just have a goal and you do it. So you mentioned it's either solar or turf.
Mm-hmm.
How did you flip that coin?
So when I go all in on something, it's 100%.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to go back to college, learn electrical engineer, anything like that I thought of it. So I was like, let's take the shorter route and do artificial turf. I love golf. And
there you go.
So it kind of works hand in hand. I was the first person in the United States to build an entire golf course out of artificial turf.
Where?
On the rim of the Paladuro Canyon outside of Amarillo.
No kidding. How about that?
Yeah.
So go for the canyon, but stay for the golf?
That's right.
Or vice versa?
Yeah, exactly. How
about that?
Can hunt and golf at the same time.
Yeah. Literally kill two birds, I guess. A birdie and a bird.
That's right.
Depends on what you're doing. Interesting. That's fun. Excellent. So tell me about the process. Let's say that I'm someone who needs your services. How do we begin?
Yeah, sure. So more than likely, you're going to see an ad of mine on Facebook or something like that, or a referral. I get probably 70% just referrals, just because I've been doing it so long. But we'll come out, and we use a measuring app on our phone. It draws it out, and then that way you can actually see. Because back when I first started, we had to use the wheels or measuring tape, and all these contractors, it's different measurements. So now, with this app that I have, the homeowner can actually see what areas are going to be turfed, what the square footage is, very transparent. Yeah. And then we put down, 3 to 4 samples on their kitchen table. They fill it, they look at it, they say, what's this one? And I give, all the different things about the goods and the bads about each one. And then they choose. And then from there, we schedule out an install. The install is we take out 4 inches of soil, and we'll bring in what's called a bend board that goes all the way around the perimeter, and it's a plastic composite. Used to be wood, but wood warps, and the industry's changed better.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Yeah, so then we take and we put rock, crushed rock, compact it to about 90 to 95% compaction, put the turf on top, staple the turf to the benda board, and then we use glue and seam tape. It's manufactured for turf. And then after we do that, we'll brush it up with what's called a power broom. After that, we'll add the infill, brush it again, clean the area, and see you later. Now they've got a great yard.
What's the average? Like, say, I've just hired you to look at my stuff's done.
Yeah, so the average lawn for a backyard's $12,000 to $15,000.
Okay. And
so we know that it's a large upfront expense, and so we offer financing, and it's really good. And a lot of people say, well, why do you do this? I say, because I change people's lives. And once you get your yard done, it's amazing how happy the customers are. Yeah. It's when you're demoing it, they're not so happy because everything's. Yeah, I always tell people it's going to look like a bomb went off in your backyard, and you're going to hate us. But whenever we're done, you're going to love us, and that's true. That's exactly what happens.
Let's talk about people's reasons why to go turf.
Sure. So the main thing is maintenance. A lot of people just don't want to spend their weekends maintaining their yard. They want to spend time with their friends and family. The second is going to be water. So like in Salina here and Prosper, water is very expensive. And so now you can cut down your water consumption by over 75%. Yeah. What a lot of people don't understand is 1,000 square foot of lawn takes up about 10,000 gallons of water for just that one area of lawn.
A year, I assume.
Yeah. And so it's a lot.
Yeah.
And so you have to figure that all this area in North Texas was farmland with no irrigation, and now you've got these developers coming in and putting in homes, and a development may have 4,000 homes. Yeah. So what we're doing here to try to save water is very impactful. Yeah. And the third reason is if they have pets. So no fleas, no ticks. Right. The pets are cleaner.
No stickers, none of that.
None of that.
They don't bring in mud or trash or leaves.
Exactly. Yeah, 100%. And what I found out, a lot of pets have allergies. And so whenever we install this artificial turf, now their pets don't have the allergies. It's pretty cool.
That is really great. And especially for water conscious. I mean, we're all here in North Texas, or Texas in general. This region is drying up, if you will, because
100%.
So much influx. Being water conscious is very important.
Yes.
So you mentioned you're here in your service area is Prosper, Salina, surrounding area.
So North Texas, we've got a branch in Houston, and then all of Florida.
Okay.
So yeah,
makes sense.
Yep.
where golfing gets done, I guess.
That's right. Exactly. 100%.
That's fantastic. So your office here at the Caddo Prosper location.
Yes.
Tell me why you chose this location and this office and the amenities that are available to you.
Yeah. So it really hits on all the marks that I'm trying to. It's very convenient for me. It's nice all the time. So it has the best of the best things. And it's easy to book rooms as far as flexibility.
Conference rooms.
Yeah. And so like there's times where I've done a training class or something like that, and I've had to book the big room down there, and I mean it's very accommodating, and it's nice. It has all the good technology. You can put everything up on the computer screens or TV screens and everything, and it's nice.
Yeah. So we talked about the history of your business.
Right.
So let's talk about the future of your business and where your business is headed.
Sure, 100%. So I do what's called a SWOT analysis on my business at least every quarter, if not 2 or 3, especially during an election year like what we had. We have to stay, and for people listening, if you don't know what SWOT, it's a strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Yep. And so I kind of go through there and see what's going on. And so we've added fake palm trees. Oh. So we have palm trees of Texas, Texas TVs. So we have large outdoor TVs that can withstand the elements. Yeah. And so I'm kind of, growing the business by adding different things, wow factors for a yard. And then in the industry in the whole is I'm using a turf that's made here in the United States that's 100% recyclable.
Interesting.
So Europe in 2030 is going to, it's already passed a mandate. No artificial turf or carpet that has certain chemicals in it can be used. So I'm going to go ahead and get ahead of the game.
Well done.
Yep. And so I'm using a turf that has no harmful chemicals, 100% recyclable, and still will outlast the competition. So yes, do you pay a little bit more? 100%. But that's why we're called LuxBlades. We're not called cheap blades.
Right.
So you definitely get what you pay for.
So let's talk about longevity. You know,
Sure.
because one of the reasons you would replace that is you want to spend the money in the right areas. You want quality and
Yep.
longevity.
100%.
How long does this last? Let's say that I'm not abusive to my yard per se.
Sure. So it has, residential has a 15-year warranty. Okay. It's going to last a lot longer than that. The yard I first installed in Clovis, New Mexico still looks great. And then what you have are for sports fields, they last 8 to 10 years. And a lot of that's because these big companies that come in and install these fields, they don't get with the facilities manager and tell them how to maintenance the turf correctly. Oh. And if they trained them on that, it would make the turf last longer. And so, yeah, it's just, that's pretty much it.
So you bring up an interesting point. You mentioned the field. So are you commercial as well, residential and commercial?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I do. So I can't say a couple of names because of NDAs.
But the places we all know, probably
yes,
some of them that we know.
100%.
There are a lot of big sports facilities here. So,
exactly.
So just kind of use your imagination, everybody. You just look
Yeah.
around as you're driving. You might see some of his customers. That's
100%.
excellent. You had mentioned about the maintenance. Do you have a program or something in place, like let's say customer education?
Sure.
I imagine once you've installed, they have questions. How do you answer those questions?
100%. So what we do is when we get done installing, we send over FAQs on maintenance. And then we also offer packages that will come out weekly, quarterly, yearly, just to get everything. We check the seams. We brush it up, make sure the infill's still good. Because a lot of these companies out there say you install artificial turf, you can set it and forget it, right? The old Ronco type deal,
right.
Set it and forget it. Well, we're not those people. We're going to be factual and tell you it's going to be less maintenance, not no maintenance.
Right. Like anything that's worth spending money on, it's worth taking care of.
100%.
That's excellent. So let's circle back to how to contact you. What's the best way to say I'm commercial or residential?
Sure. So the best way to contact me is Nick at Lux, LUXE, Blades, BLAD as in dog, ES.com. And from there, you can schedule a time with me, or you can go to nicksbizcard.com, and all my information's on there.
Terrific. Well, Nick, I really enjoyed talking to you today, and what a great service and forward thinking from what the needs are, especially from water here in Texas.
Right. Well, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you for joining us today on the Caddo Convos podcast. A huge shout out to our incredible network of members for making our community vibrant and supportive. If you're looking to boost your productivity and reduce the isolation of working from home, consider joining us at Caddo Office Reimagined. Our spaces are designed to meet your evolving needs, support remote work, and foster a sense of community that's hard to find at home. Whether you're a startup aiming for growth, a freelancer seeking a professional setting, or a company looking to optimize resources, Caddo offers a perfect blend of flexibility and innovation. By joining us, you'll be a part of a dynamic business ecosystem that helps you thrive. For more information, visit caddooffices.com. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time on Caddo Convos.